Good clean baseline there. Whoa. Whoa. Look at that. Wow, see that? Welcome back to the Carl the Crusher channel. I'm actually parked at a gas station. The view out the window here is absolutely amazing behind me up here. It snowed the last couple of days, so everything is kind of scattered with this little white frost all over. It's absolutely magical. It's a little bit dangerous to go out, and so I'm gonna try and go to a place that I know that's familiar, but I'm taking a route that I've never been before, so hopefully we can find it. I know the way that I'm going, where I have to park, I'm gonna have to hike a little bit and like actually crawl down and up and out of a gully. Hopefully it's not totally full of sloppy mud and clay. If it is, we might get a little bit messy. But the plan today is to go up to these petroglyphs that I recently discovered that are right near my house. And I wanna test them out with my tri-field meter because I've gone to some ancient locations before and this thing sometimes acts really bizarre. There, that's better. Maybe now I can go brave the cold and hike around and do some cool experiments at an ancient location for you guys. Should we go? Let's do it. Every day's a new day. Let's make it an awesome one. Check out that view behind us. Wow. Mountains back there. So beautiful. The road is a little bit muddy. It is a little bit sloppy, but so far so good. The truck hasn't had any kind of a problem. We're not like flipping mud all over the windows or anything. So I think we're good to go. We picked a good day. It's been snowing and actually pretty cold, and today's the first really good day in the break of that where I'm not worried about a big monsoon blowing in. The wind doesn't seem too bad down here, and maybe we're gonna have a good day. So the point is I wanna come and find these petroglyphs and then be able to explore around the region and around the hillside to see if we can find anything else. And also, I think that one of these petroglyph markings looks a lot like a map. It seems to indicate where there's like a cave entrance or tunnel entrance. I don't know, you guys are gonna have to let me know what you think, but I really wanna hike around and explore the whole area, see what we can find. I found it. This is definitely the spot. The petroglyphs are right over here to the east of me, but we're gonna have to crawl across a pretty big ravine in order to get there. So here, let me show you what I mean. This whole area right here is probably covered with ancient artifacts, caves, petroglyphs, all kinds of stuff. And it just goes on and on and on and on all the way back through this valley with all sorts of mesas and everything. But check this out. The petroglyphs are over here. The ones that I'm aware of are over here on the edge of this mesa and up on that ridge. So we're gonna make our way there first and then explore around the rest of the area and use the tri-field meter in order to try and figure it out. But first of all, we're gonna have to scramble our way down and up this big muddy ravine to get there. It actually doesn't look too muddy. It is very steep though. It looks like just like where people on horseback ride up and down, maybe a motorcycle trail over there. So I'll probably do that. Scramble down this way, go across there and go up, and then we'll see what we can find. It is muddy down here in the bottom. It is pretty and kind of cool, but this is gonna be my route to go up there. And it does look steep and muddy, but I do have the tri-field meter on me. So we're gonna go see if there's any electromagnetic frequency, any magnetic waves or any radio waves coming off this ancient petroglyph site like we have discovered in other locations before with the tri-field meter. So we're gonna go compare and then look around the hillside to see if we can find any other cave entrances, any signs of other petroglyphs, things that other people may have missed. Yeah, this is it, there we go. I can see the petroglyphs right up there. on the rock face behind me, you can see the patina is really dark and then carved into. Vividly, I can see it all the way from here, and I notice that they're carved facing to the south. So if they're up there, it makes you wonder also what is all over down here, right? And the wind is picking up a little bit. Sorry about that. I'll try to be mindful of the noise. Just even down here on ground level, we have this giant boulder that looks like it's fallen down from up above, and it actually has really deep set carvings in it as well. Look at this. What do you make of that? I don't know. It could have been a lot more right here. More could have been broken off, like people could have come and stolen it. But this is really interesting, and it's just downhill. This is obviously carved out of the rock, just downhill from the primary wall. This is probably one of my #1 spots right now where I want to be able to come back here and make a base camp when the weather's nice and clear, when it's not all windy and cloudy. And I want to set up with my new night vision and watch for UFOs. Maybe I'll do some meditations. Have you ever heard of CE5? There's a whole app and a program supposedly where you can do like meditation and then see orbs of light. And I think this spot right here with these petroglyphs would be the perfect spot. There's no light pollution. There's nothing else around. It's an ancient location full of carvings of significance. And it is like this beautiful view of the sky and this entire valley. You never know. I want to get my night vision and come back here and see what we can see. Might as well, while we're down here on the ground, check this one out and see. So we shouldn't have any kind of a reading at all. That is pretty interesting that it is going up. This is on the, wow. That is actually really interesting that right over these symbols, I haven't even ever had a magnetic field anomaly like this. I don't know what to make of that, but look at it. Right over where these petroglyphs are, down on the ground here, it keeps spiking. Last time I was here, I was in a little bit of a hurry and I didn't bring any of my equipment in order to scientifically test these petroglyphs. But this just blows my mind. Some of these are really tall, some of them are short. I've had so many people tell me that have worked on treasure digs and archaeological digs that they've found 14-foot tall bones of giants and weird stuff in archaeological finds that doesn't belong around here. These are really fascinating. Again, as many petroglyphs as there are right here on this rock face. I have not even explored around this whole cliffside and all of this valley and these mesas down here. Look at this. It's so cool. We've got to come back here and look for UFOs, look for anything like orbs of light moving around in the valley. And we could sit right up here at this ancient location or down there at the giant boulder where we get the weird readings and see if we could see anything. As soon as the weather warms up, you know this is where I'm going to be. I'm going to come right back here. So let's get the tri-field meter out, see if we can get any kind of interesting energy readings off of this wall. I'm not sure actually how we're going to do it. I mean, the ones clear up there at the top are probably 30 feet up, 20, 30 feet up. Look at those big figures up there with the triangular bodies, short little legs. Look at this guy right here. You have all these different depictions of goats, but look how their arms are hanging down. This guy's like upside down. It's really fascinating. Okay, we'll go up to the rock face and see if we get any kind of reading. I'm here on the magnetic, like we got down the hill. Let's see. Now I'm not getting any kind of readings up here on this wall. But boy, you almost need like a ladder to even get close. How did they get up there and carve these? I keep getting weird spikes on the tri-field meter. Like as I walk along the wall here and go below the petroglyphs, it definitely jumps and peaks and spikes. Let's see if we can get any readings off of this wall here. Nothing so far. I've only been keeping it on the magnetic spectrum. And this one over here, it looks like a map to me. These symbols right here get me. I see these all over the place. They have to do with the legends of the Starnake, which sounds a lot like the Anunnaki, right? It's really interesting. That almost looks like a boat anchor or something, but I don't know. I'm just speculating there. And this is the part that looks like some kind of a map or tunnel system. And now as I get closer to this, I start to get weird spikes in the RF. Wow, see that? And it's not the, we can test the magnetic field here in a second, but the RF seems to jump. Doesn't it look like this is like a person? Look at that. Why is it jumping like that? It's like a signal coming off of the rocks. I've only ever got this in one other spot. And here where we have these ancient symbols that could be 8,000 years old, we have it like it's giving off pings, like it's giving off a signal or reflecting some sort of a receiver right where there seems to be some kind of a map. It's really fascinating, guys. I don't know, because you get just like a baseline, but then I come to these ancient sites and look, these petroglyphs look really, really old, even older than the other ones that we were just looking at. Whoa, see that? It's like these rock faces that they chose or that they picked out. It looks like there's even petroglyphs up above there. Right? Isn't that like a figure right there? Were they using this type of geology in order to resonate some kind of a frequency in order to make contact with something? It's interesting. I'm so fascinated with it, you guys. What does it mean? Woo! The weather is really starting to whip up now. The wind is starting to blow and it is starting to get really cold. I don't know if you can tell, but there are some dark clouds behind me starting to blow in here. But we're gonna tough it out here and see. I'm gonna put the tri-field meter away now. We're gonna hike around and see what else we can find around this mesa. We're gonna start exploring to see if there's more petroglyphs nearby. It seems like in some of these spots up here, further along the edge, there would be a few more carvings, but there's only one way to find out. We gotta scramble over there and look. It'd also be really good to find a way to access the top, because you have to wonder if they were carving stuff around on the side, if there's stuff up on the top, like indicating a lookout point or something. But no way. Look, guys, I just found more. I had no idea there was more right there. Just found some. I love this part about doing this. When I just follow my intuition, the trail ends back there. I'm like, I don't know, but there's something in my instincts that's like, keep looking, keep looking. If you lived here a long time ago, just go around there. This looks perfect. This feels right. And I start following that. And then sure enough, check this out. Boom. Whole bunch of petroglyphs right there of humanoid looking figures. Super interesting. Let's go look. Wow. These are so cool. I love how clear cut they are into the rock. Look at the figures. They look like gingerbread men. Look at their arms. How their arms are out like that, and then they have these little tiny feet. And then you have what looks like goats with horns. And look how tall this one is. There's even some over here, and then there's a big split in the rock that goes back up like that. So beautiful. It's almost like overwhelming when I come up to these spots. So let's get out the tri-field meter and see if we can detect any kind of energy readings. Magnetic, and then we'll go through electromagnetic, and then to RF and see what we find. We'll see if we get any kind of energy readings off of this petroglyph wall or out of this crack in the rocks. So far, nothing on the magnetic spectrum, even though we did back there on the other wall. Okay, switching over. Nothing here. Good clean baseline there. Whoa. Whoa. Look at that. Okay, that's always interesting, right? Why is it giving off huge radio frequencies? Look at it spiking all the way out. What is it about these spots that they picked to carve that gives off radio signals and radio frequencies? Does it have to do with the electromagnetic spectrum of the Earth? And they were tapping into that? That's so weird. Like it pulses occasionally, like it's receiving a signal. Well, I'm kind of back down on the ground now, and I'm actually following along a little bit of a trail. I keep seeing indications of what looks like they could have been petroglyphs, but they're just like little pock marks or little divots. I haven't found any other like humanoid figures or goats, animals, any spirals, symbols. The rock formations here are really interesting. It makes me want to crawl up and look inside of all of them. And I'm going to keep going around the corner here, see if I can find anything else, but it is starting to get really cold right now. Super interesting day, you guys. So we made it back here. We found the ancient petroglyph site, crawled around in one direction around the mesa, just a tiny part of the way, and found another patch of petroglyphs. Both locations are giving off interesting readings with the tri-field meter, with the magnetic spectrum and the RF spectrum. So I think we need to come back when the weather's nice and use night vision and maybe thermal imaging, see if we can see any kind of orbs of light in the valley, any UFOs in the sky, anything on the REM pod or the spirit box, and see what we can discover. I love bringing you guys on these hikes with me, trying to check this stuff out, see what the ancient mysteries hold, where they lead to, and we've got so much more to explore. Make sure and subscribe and turn on notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.